Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's talk on leveraging your LinkedIn. So what better time than right now to work on developing your online presence and making sure that you're making those intentional connections to get you to where you want to be. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just as a reminder, my name is Brooke. I'm the Arts and Science Career Coach. I know I've been around you guys a few times, but it's been a minute. So all right, so we are going to go through a quick presentation today, and then I've got a couple of little videos looped in, and then I'm going to show you some examples of complete and then still room for improvement LinkedIn pages. So just so that you have that for you to see. Okay, so really just talking about how do you manage LinkedIn? How can that be a professional network for you? So we're going to jump straight into this little video right here. It's all about starting your career.
Here's how to make your profile great. Number one, pick a professional picture. Not just any picture. No, not that one. More like these. Yes, that's the one. Number two, write a good headline. Just tell us who you are and what you want to do. 120 characters or less. Yeah, I like that. Remember, nothing too personal, nothing too clever. Number three, tell us about your education. What's your major? What classes did you take? What skills did you develop? C++, art history, Portuguese history, quantum thermodynamics? Yes, put those. Number four, list your experience. Give us your organization, your achievements, your honors. President of the International Club? Yes. Volunteered building houses? Yes. Invented a cat toy? Yeah, sure, that counts. Number five, get recommendations. Prove you've got what it takes. Get managers, mentors, and professors to post something that says, this person is smart, hardworking, good-natured, and well-rounded, or something like that. And then you're done. You shout, this is me! You do a celebration dance. You feel good. You stand out. You know you're on your way, because there are jobs to be found and recruiters looking to find you as you watch this. That's right now, this very second. What are you waiting for? Go, find, be found.
So that's just a quick little introduction to LinkedIn, but really what you can do to make yourself stand out and get that profile complete. I do have a checklist for you guys. I'm going to include it in some attachments with this presentation, along with the links to all the videos and the websites we're going to reference. But again, it's just about, you guys have some experience creating handshake profiles. This is going to be very similar. It's just going to be on a broader professional scale. So know that recruiters can be looking at this page. It's an easy way to contact you. It also gives them ways to search through the potential people who have qualifications that meet their needs. So making sure that you have those skills that you developed, those kind of things, is really going to help a lot. So the 10 must-dos on LinkedIn. I'm kind of use a little checklist off to the side. I know there's more than 10. Trust me, I asked these questions, but we've looped a couple of them together. So make sure that you upload an appropriate photo. And then there is a little bit of sarcasm in these. And then make sure you write an informative headline, and I'll show you some good examples of those here in a second. Add a summary, and then experience and volunteering. So making sure that those things are really linked in to what you are looking to put out there. Again, your online presence is all about building the brand of the person that you are. So this is your opportunity. This is your first foot put forward. You want to make sure that you're setting that example for how you want it to be, how you want to be represented online. Just continuing that, complete additional profile sections. Sorry, there's a couple of images that didn't show up. Build a strong network, creating unique LinkedIn URL, which you can take some lessons on that. Neither one of the ones I'm showing you today have that. Share your work and update your skills for recommendations. All right, so LinkedIn going to the next level. So here's another video. Go ahead and get that started for you.
If you're watching this, chances are good you want to get a job. You want to go from student to rising star, and you want to avoid eating the same meal over and over and over again. Good news, you're in the right place. That's right, LinkedIn. It's not just for top executives. It's not just for old people with heavy briefcases. It's for you, and it's the perfect place for you to start your professional story. Say you want to get a job in New York City. You've never been there before, but that's okay because you have LinkedIn on your side. You start by creating your profile. You give it love because you know it's what recruiters are looking for day and night. It's your resume that never sleeps. It's your flashing neon sign that says, hire me, for the love of all that is good in this world, hire me. making connections. Alumni working in New York? Yes. Recruiters at top companies in New York? Yes. Your mom's best friend? Yes. You start imagining whose shoes you want to walk in. You think, wow, this is a lot of new stuff to consider. You shake yourself out of it and start searching for jobs. Whoa, that's a lot of jobs for students. Time to get down to business. You start to tailor your profile. You start applying. You feel empowered, in control, like you should be CEO. That gives you an idea. You look up all the CEOs of all the companies you want to work at. You see one of them went to your university. Then it hits you. You see a clear path from campus to career. You feel like you can see the future. You wonder if you're psychic. Should you start a hotline? No, back to plan A. You keep tailoring and connecting and applying, and before you know it, you start getting responses. First a few, then more, then an interview, and then you're hired. And that's when the real learning begins.
All right, so just it gives you an idea about how you can use who you know and what their connections are to get there. Because again, it's not who you know, but it's who they know and who they know. So it's 2- and 3-fold out from where the connections that you make, where that can take you as far as building an online presence. And we always say that you start with your FOPs and your POS. So that's your friends of parents and your parents of friends. If you start with those networks, you can do pretty well and then start expanding from there. I would also encourage you, if there's people at companies that you're interested in looking at or working for, go follow them. Go send a request and say, hey, I would love to know what a day in life is like for you at your job, you know. And right now, there's no better time for you to start asking those questions. It's a great way to get your foot in the door. It's going to make you memorable to them if you do apply for a job. So those are the things you're looking to do right now that are going to make you stand out. All right. Okay, so I just wanted to take a quick look at some good examples of profiles. And so I'm going to go ahead and switch over. This is the LinkedIn URL that we're going to go to. Again, I will attach that in some attachments with this presentation, but for now I'm just going to take you to a different screen. So I'm going to stop this one and then share a different one. Let's go. Let's see if I get this. Okay, here we go. We're going to look at Jessica's first. So if I make this big, so this is Jessica Bradley. She actually works in our office. She has been on the career coaching side, and now she works with the employers to recruit them into campus and then coordinates all of our events. So again, things that we talked about, we're talking about this checklist of things. You want to make sure that you have a professional profile picture. One of the biggest things that I see is that a lot of students tend to leave this piece blank. So Jess opted for a nice picture of downtown. You can use anything and everything. LinkedIn will default this little image of like little dots connecting together because that's the goal, is connecting people. But I think if you leave that there, I think it shows that you didn't spend the time or effort to customize it to best show who you represent. So make sure that you're taking a little bit of time to find a picture. I Googled mine, I pulled it from pictures of TU and dropped in there. You'll get to see it in a minute. Mine is not quite as polished as Jess's. So this is just giving you an idea. So her little tagline, which is one of the big ones they talk about, she is passionate higher education professional dedicated to intentionally connecting students with employment opportunities. So it's just something short and sweet. It can tell a little bit about you. It can tell a little bit about what you do. So these are her schools that she's listed, and those auto-populate based on what you put in this. It will tell you how many people you have connected with that person, that we both work at the same place. These are just kind of the highlights. So the about section, it's something that she customized to be about her. So with an educational background in communications and counseling, I have found my fit in career services. I utilize interpersonal and helping skills to make students feel comfortable as I connect with employers offering exceptional employment opportunities. In addition, I have a passion for program development and executing excellent events to promote professional development. I led the Career Services Employer Relations, Marketing Initiatives, and Professional Development Programs at the Center for Career Development and Professional Engagement at the University of Tulsa. Developing strong relationships and having a positive attitude are both values I bring to work with me every day. And then she has 5 pieces. Restorative, learner, achiever, discipline, and harmony. And if any of you have ever taken the Clifton Strengths, those are her top 5. Activity, this is just going to talk about the different things that you share or post that you create. They're all going to show up there. So it's great to interact with different people. If they post something that you really like or things that you'd like to comment on, all of that stuff's going to show up in your activity section. Experience, this is where the big piece comes in for you guys to make sure that you're marketing your skills well. Now you've created a handshake profile and you've created a resume. So both of these pieces are going to easily tie in. A lot of people take their resume and plug these in and take the bullet points from their resume and tie them directly into their LinkedIn and their handshake pages. So now that you've kind of refurbished that, you can take that same information and plug that in here. You've already got it done. It's just putting it in place. So you can see she is the Assistant Director of Employee Relations at TU. She worked in career services at OSU for 9 years in a couple of different roles. She was a special events intern at BOK. She has 2 degrees from Oklahoma State. And she also listed different activities that she was involved in while she was there, which I think is great. It shows that you were involved in more than just school. So if you were involved in anything else, I think it's a great place to list what you were involved in. It will still ping on searches if they are searching for something that's a keyword or anything like that. It will pull you up as well. So good places to have that. Licenses and certifications is something you can add there. If you guys have gotten certifications and any different skill sets or things like that, this is a great place to include it. So skills and endorsements. This is basically a place where you can list off the skills that you have, and then you're gonna see if other people will go endorse, basically vouch for the skills that you developed. So she lists career counseling, leadership, and higher education. So those 3, and then she's had other people come and endorse those, saying that that is a quality that she embodies. So it's kind of cool. It gives kind of like recommendations without the without it having to be so formal in the term of writing a letter of recommendation. So it's kind of cool. It's a neat thing. Recommendations are very similar. So if you've interacted with a professor or with a professional who is willing to give you a recommendation, this is a great place you can use it. I would say it is helpful in the sense there may be some applications where you have to get a formal letter written by someone, but this is a great place for them to reference. I think they can, like for me, I have the option to go in and recommend Jessica. So it's not necessarily something that you type out for yourself. Accomplishments, she listed 3 different organizations that she was a part of, and then also 1 publication that she was a part of. So again, things that you can list out there. It's totally up to you to fill those things in. Interests, I think this is a great space. You know, she has all of these things. There's obviously more that you can look through, but those are the interests that she has noted that she is interested in. So it's customizable to you, which I think is a nice piece to it. And if I go back to the presentation, we just talked about, you know, looking at a complete profile. Now, if we take a second to look at one that's not so complete, we're actually going to go to my LinkedIn page because I'm still somewhat new to LinkedIn. And so getting to the point where I feel like it is ready to go, it's just been a little bit different. It wasn't something that I needed for the profession that I was in. And so still building, still creating. So again, you have a professional picture, you have something in the background. I am a big fan of the bell picture, so I try to incorporate that as much as I can. Again, my little tagline is career coach, dream chaser, softball enthusiast, a love for helping others pursue their passion and find their purpose. Again, I have 2 degrees from TU. And so the nice part about when you're creating your profile is it tells you where you're at. So you're getting to see this as it will tell you what you could do differently. So my strength is intermediate, and it will tell you some different things that you can do to add to your profile and make it stronger. So again, you see where it says I have the option to show recruiters you're open to job opportunities. You can control that. So it's in settings, different things. And then also I have an option to fill in this featured section. So then my dashboard is telling me there's been 33 people who viewed my profile, 64 post views, and I've appeared in 8 searches. If I want, I can release my salary information. That part of stuff is totally up to you. Activity, again, these are the things that I have posted or shared. It really is just an opportunity for you to interact with the different people in the industry and let them know that you're kind of looking for them. So here's my experience. So you can see this is where I haven't necessarily beefed mine up. I've put my role, where I worked at the time that it's been, but I haven't put any of those kind of details as to what we're doing in each piece. So that is where I need to go back to my resume and pull those things into my different experiences. So again, I showed you a complete one. Now we're at the not so complete, so you have an idea. This stuff was really easy to drop in. It took me about maybe 10 minutes to do everything that's on my page right now, just to get it up and running. That way I had something. And then, you know, going back in and putting together those pieces, because it's pretty short and sweet, especially once you've done the handshake profile, you've worked on your resume, those kind of things come together really smoothly. So then again, education, and then again, I, like Jess, need to add the different things that I was involved in while I was at TU. So I have 2 degrees from there, so that's listed. And then here are the different interests that I have. And so just getting into some of that. So it just gives you an idea about what to look for. Just to give you guys, excuse me, a little bit of kind of a checkpoint of what you need to, what you're looking to get done on these LinkedIn profiles. So this is a checklist, and I will also attach this, and it just gives you like, hey, things to remember. You want to make sure that you have a good photo, make sure that there's a headline, make sure you have a summary, put your experience on there. And that, again, experience does not mean that it has to be paid. It doesn't mean that it has to be considered a job. Experience can be that you are in a leadership role in your fraternity or sorority or club or organization, whatever that is. You are still leading, organizing, communicating with other people. Those are all skills that employers are looking for now more than ever. Okay, organizations that you're involved in is another place for you to talk about who you are connected with. Your education needs to be on there. Volunteer experience and causes, there is a little piece where you can add that. You just have to, you can kind of customize the order that all of this shows up in, so then you can choose what comes in, what goes in, what comes next, that kind of thing. Skills and expertise, remember these are those things that you self-report, and then these are all the people that vouch that you have those skills. So again, it's showing you these reported skills, those people have vouched for them. Honors and awards, this is a place where you can kind of tout the things that you've achieved, which don't be afraid. I think that as long as it's, you are being mindful that your entire page isn't, oh, these are all of the awards that I have collected. Don't be afraid to, you know, sell yourself a little bit. Like, yes, I've earned these opportunities. So I think we tend to underplay our achievements versus overplay them. And then courses, this is going to come in big for you guys, especially when you're talking about internships. Courses is a way for you can relate to what skills you have developed and what you are working on right now that's relevant, and how that connects to different roles. So then you can take and tweak this as much as you want, but I feel like right now, especially if you are someone who doesn't have a ton of experience or work-related experience to what you're trying to get into, this is a great way to show that you have taken these classes and that you have been in front of the material and has some experience in it. So use that to your advantage. It's not much different than Handshake. It just gives you another opportunity to kind of expand on what you've learned. Again, if you have any projects that you would like to put in here, I think it kind of falls in the same category as Handshake. If you have relevant project that you've worked on that you would like to tie in for those employers to see, it's a great opportunity to do that. And then last but not least is recommendations. So ask managers, professors, or classmates who've worked with you or closely to write a recommendation. This gives you extra credibility to your strengths and skills. Again, if it were me, I would want to make sure that my profile is complete before I go out and ask one of those other people to recommend me for something. You want to make sure that you are polished in the first place and then ask for that recommendation. It's going to sound a little cliche if somebody says that you are a really hard worker and that you are always prepared and things like that, but then your profile is not complete. It looks like they're kind of counterproductive as far as looking at what you got. So you guys will get a copy of this checklist. I'll attach it in the tools that I sent to Dr. Macdonald. And then also we're going to go back to this presentation, and you know how this goes. You know, if you don't mind, if you would please hold up your phone to a QR code. This is still the same survey. It should look exactly the same as what it normally is. Remember that I'm Brooke and that There's a couple of questions for you to fill out. I went ahead and put my email and my office line on there. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Shoot me an email. My office number is there. You can call me in my office. It gets forwarded to my cell phone or it comes through on my computer. And then, you know, if you want to set up a meeting to where we talk through what some different opportunities look like, or if something should be or not be included on your LinkedIn, please don't hesitate to ask. That's what we're here for. I know that a lot of you are looking at internships for the summer, and it's, you know, from what we hear right now, it's still, some opportunities are still in line. Some of them have not had so much luck, and it could be a tough market right now. So this is where we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to be intentional about getting ourselves as prepared as we can to have that online presence, because for a little while, I think this is where we're at, making sure that we're being intentional about the connections we make, and you know, just being prepared. Get yourself out there, get connected with people who you're interested in what they're doing, maybe what their role looks like. This is your chance to really find out and pick their brain. All right, so again, if you guys need anything, my email's down there, my phone number's down there. Please don't hesitate to ask. I hope that you have a great week and keep on thriving. All right. Have a good one.